Hey, what's going on, my fellow content creator? Jay the Creative here, and I am the founder and CEO of Fine Film Productions, a production company. And today I just wanted to speak with the content creators out there, and we're going to talk about how to handle client objections. As you go through, as you work in the industry, you're going to face client objections, and it can be really difficult to face them and to figure out how to respond when a client objects, whether that be to your proposal, to your price, anything that you have to offer. So today we're going to talk about the two ways that you can go about answering a client objection. So first things first, what does it mean when a client objects? That's something that you really have to think about. Selling a service to a business is completely different than selling a service to just a person, to a personal person, non-business entity. People think and spend based on emotion. Businesses think and spend based on strategy. So when a person tells you no, that could be just completely based on emotion. They don't have enough money to spend. They don't see the value in it, something of that nature. When a business tells you no, that's usually different. It usually has to do with one of two things. They could potentially just not have the money to spend, which there are ways to mitigate that. But there are two things that you have to think about. When a business says no, it's typically because they don't see the value that you're offering. Understand that as a business, you are consistently trying to hemorrhage risk versus reward. When something is risky and the reward really isn't there, the answer that you're probably going to get is a no, because the business owner doesn't see the benefit as far as the value versus the risk of taking you on, taking time out of their day, taking time out of their employees' time on the clock to be able to actually accomplish that different type of content. So the two ways that I go about thinking and really responding is, number one, you can try and lower that risk ceiling to meet the amount of value that you are providing. So for example, if they say something along the lines of, I don't see anything in your portfolio that meets what we're looking for, or I don't think you have too much, or I don't think you have enough more rather, experience. These, once again, are just two things that are making you seem more risky than the amount of value that you're producing. So here's a simple answer that I would typically give in those scenarios. You don't have something in your portfolio that meets the expectation. Well, you are completely correct. I don't right now understand the expectations that you have for the content that you want to create. But as a content creator and as the subject matter expert, that is my expertise and that is my goal, to truly understand what you're trying to create and custom create a piece of content that works for your specific clientele and your specific need. Now, once you say that, once again, you're hemorrhaging that risk. You're lowering that risk amount and you're making your value almost meet the amount of risk that they're willing to take on. Same thing applies for the second objection. If they simply say, I don't think you have enough experience, that's where your testimonials, that's where your reel can come in, that's where a lot of these past experiences can come in. You can simply say something along the lines of, well, you're right. By myself, I don't have as much experience as some of the other people in the industry. You're completely correct about that. But it's not just me as a freelancer coming to help you. It's a full team, a team of creative people all here to pitch in their experience, to create a mass of experience to help you get to the end result. And that experience, that growth that you're looking for, it is there. I've helped this company achieve similar results, this one, and this one. I've helped them all across the board achieve similar results. So while I might not have as much experience, 100%, as some of the huge content creation firms in the country, I do have a wealth of experience that I can provide to show you the value and give you the return on your investment. Boom. Once again, you're lowering that risk and you're making it seem like a less risky endeavor. Excuse me. Now, the second thing that you can do is, instead of lowering that risk for them, you can try and raise the value. And this is the best example that I have of that. Let's say I have $1. I put $1 outside the back door of a house and you're at the front door. I tell you, you have to run through the house to get the $1. Easy. All right. I set the house on fire. You have to run through the house to get the same $1. You're not going to do that. There's a lot of risk there. You could get injured, you could die, a lot of things can happen. Versus, it's just $1. The value isn't there. So what do? You can raise that value. And I'm not talking about raising that value as in giving away everything that you have, just showing them the value that you already bring to the table. So let me change it. There's $1 million. I put $1 million on one side, but I cover all of it and I only show $1. And I say there's $1. All right, that's still a no. I uncover $5,000. Mind you, there's still $1 million there. You just don't know how to explain that value to the client. I uncover $5,000. It's not a hell no anymore. It's a still no, not for $5,000. It's a lot of money, but no thank you. I uncover $100,000. You're gonna stop and you're gonna think about that. Oh, that's a lot of money. I can buy this, that, and the other. I can buy a lot of stuff with that. I uncover the full $1 million and I tell you, would you do it? You're going to think heavily and a lot of you would run through that fire because once again, that risk is now met with the value because you've uncovered the amount of value that you bring to the table. And mind you, this isn't going to work in every scenario. Some people, if you were saying that to a multimillionaire, they wouldn't go through the fire because their risk tolerance is so much higher or lower in that case. Your value isn't meeting their demand. It's only $1 million. They have tens of millions of dollars. What can they do with $1 million? So you'd uncover, in that example, $1 billion. And then that person with $10 million, now that's real tempting. And that's what you need to do. It's not about adding on more value. Keep that value where it is. Offer as much value as you can. It's about properly explaining to the client all the value that you bring to the table. When you uncover all the value that you bring and you can show that effectively, you can intelligently say that in a way that they can comprehend and they can understand, then boom, you're not only the subject matter expert, but they see all that value. They are taking out their card, they're gonna swipe it with you, you're coming out tomorrow to film something for them. That is what you have to do whenever you face a client objection. Number one, lower that risk ceiling by showing them past experience, giving them testimonials, showing them your portfolio. It's no longer risky. I know that I can do it. Now you know that I can do it. There's no risk there. What are we talking about? Or raise up the value. This is still a really big budget project. I have never done something this big before, but the payoff is so massive that you cannot afford to not do it. Do one of those two things or a combination of both of them, and you're gonna see that those no's are going to turn from no to a yes. Thank you guys so much for joining in. If you like this video, go ahead and click on one of the other videos that I have in the playlist that'll help you land more clients, number one, and also become a better content creator just through making better content. With that, I'll catch you guys in the next one.